Hi, my name is Logan Foster and I'm majoring in marketing here. I have interviewed for a few different jobs, but the first one I ever interviewed for was lifeguarding quite a few years ago, but it's basically, even though the job was something simple, we still had to go through the interview process, and we were actually asked questions that you wouldn't think went into lifeguarding, like about your personality or just little things to kind of figure out who you were as a person. So I wasn't really prepared for that, but basically you just have to be yourself and answer as best as you can.
Hi, I'm Dylan Doss, and I'm a communications major. The first time that I experienced an interview was actually a mock interview at my high school, and it was in my personal finance class with Mr. Haggerty. And basically we just sat in with the interview, and we had a resume pulled up, and we showed it to the interviewer, and she talked about it with us. And at first I was very nervous, but afterwards the nerves settled and you get to talking and you get going and everything turns out fine, and just with experience you get better at interviewing. So thank you for listening to me.
Hi, my name is Linda Strella. I'm an assistant professor at communication at Avila University. A question has been put to me: what do I need to do if I'm going out into the job market trying to find a new job when I'm straight out of college? So here's just some general rules. They are certainly not the only rules. What I would advise my students to do is to first research the company or the organization that you want to work for. Find out all about them. Find out what their mission statement is. Find out what their goals are. What good things that they have done in the community, for example. Second thing I would have you do are just more of a practical nature, is make sure that you dress for the job above the job you want. So if you're coming in as the lowest level, dress like a person that has made it into the job that you want to have. Make sure you're there early. Make sure that you're prepared. You know who you're going to speak to. Make sure you might have a question to them. The idea is not to find out what the company can do for you. I hope your research is taking care of that. Find out from the interviewer that let them know that you can do something for their company or organization that they need. When you get there, introduce yourself, be polite, make sure you answer the question they asked, not the question you want to answer. If they ask you, do you have any questions about the position, I would suggest you ask a substantive question, not a question like how much vacation I get. You'll find out that later before you take the job, if you decide you want to take it. After you're through, thank the person for the interview. If it's appropriate to the culture, shake their hand or whatever is appropriate in the culture. Then I also suggest, kind of the cherry on the top of the ice cream, that you do something that's not real popular now. The next day you write a note, not a note to suck up, but a note that says, thank you for your time, I enjoyed meeting you, learning about your company or your organization, and I look forward to hearing you. The thing that's about all you can do in terms of just letting them know that you are grateful that they spent time with you. Even if you don't get the job, every interview you go on, you will learn something that will help you the next time you interview. When you interview enough, eventually you're going to get a job.
My name is Kathleen Finnegan, and I'm the library director. And what I'm looking for when I interview someone for a position is, first of all, I have what I need in that position, and I look for what the person I'm interviewing has that would address that. And so it's a matter of kind of matching those things up, making sure they understand aspects of the position and can relate their experience to what we're looking for. And so that's very important when we talk to people, is that they can do that, make those links. And then also it's a chance, sometimes we'll ask a question about how they deal with conflict, or something out of left field, to see how they handle that socially, and that they're kind of comfortable with answering questions that maybe they didn't expect. And so that's something that tells us how they can cope with, particularly in the library, a situation that changes and very rapidly, and people come up with different questions that you have to be able to respond to.
I'm Dottie Hamilton. I'm a professor in the communication department, and I teach in the senior seminar class, so we do a lot of work on interviewing. There are many details to a good interview, but I think two of the things that really stand out to me, one is enthusiasm. I think it's really important when you go to an interview that you smile and that you talk in a way that lets people know that you're enthusiastic about the job. If you're not excited to have a job, and if you don't demonstrate that through your motivation and how you handle yourself in the interview, then I think people are going to get the impression that you're not that excited about having that job. I don't want to hire you unless you're really excited. The second thing is preparation. You need to be prepared for the job interview. That's easy to do now with so much information on the internet. But if I ask you, why do you want this job? I want you to know about my company, my organization, my products, whatever the situation is, so that when you answer that question, it comes across that you did your research, you know something about me, and it's not just that you want any job, but you want this particular job. You're excited, you're motivated to have that job. If you make me feel that, I'm more likely to hire you than if you just want any job and you're just looking to have something, because then you might leave for something better. It's very important to be prepared with questions as well. To have a resume with you, just to show that you have done your preparation ahead of time. You've done your research, you brought an extra resume, and you know something about what you're talking about. And those two things are very important: enthusiasm and preparation.
Cliff Krosky, and the most important thing for someone seeking a job interview is to present a good impression. Within 10 seconds, the person interviewing you really decides whether they are going to take you seriously for the job or not. So the first impression is key. Looking good, showing yourself as a positive person, that's really important.